The hum of the jet engines filled the air, a low, steady sound that almost felt like a heartbeat. Maya had never been on a private jet before. The soft leather seats, the quiet luxury, and the view of endless clouds made her feel like she'd accidentally stepped into someone else's dream. But this wasn't a dream, it was work. And the man sitting beside her, focused on his laptop, was her boss, Ethan Steele, one of the youngest and most powerful billionaires in the business world. Maya had joined his company just 6 months ago as a junior marketing associate. She wasn't supposed to be on this flight. The senior manager who was meant to go had fallen ill last minute, and Maya was chosen as a replacement. She'd barely slept in 2 days preparing the presentation Ethan wanted reviewed before their meeting in London. Her nerves buzzed like static electricity as she tried to keep her eyes open, but exhaustion slowly pulled her under. As the plane cut through the clouds, Maya's head dipped. Before she realized it, she had drifted off and unknowingly leaned against Ethan's shoulder. Ethan froze for a moment, startled. He wasn't used to anyone being this close to him, especially not an employee. Most people in his presence kept their distance, careful, guarded, afraid. But here was Maya, soft, innocent, and unaware, asleep against him, as if the weight of the world had finally lifted off her. He looked down at her face, the faint, dark circles under her eyes, the way her lips slightly parted, the steady rhythm of her breathing. She looked peaceful, vulnerable. Something inside him softened, a feeling he hadn't known for years. Ethan quietly set his laptop aside and adjusted his position so her head rested more comfortably on his shoulder. He didn't want to wake her. For once, someone saw him not as the billionaire boss, but just as a man sitting next to a tired soul. When Maya woke up an hour later, the realization hit her like a thunderbolt. She sat upright, mortified, mumbling apologies. "I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to." Ethan chuckled softly, closing his laptop. "It's fine, Maya. You've been working hard. You deserve the rest." His tone wasn't cold or dismissive like she expected. It was warm, almost gentle. That kindness disarmed her completely. She looked at him, puzzled. For the first time, she saw not the billionaire everyone feared, but a man who seemed lonely. Throughout the flight, their conversation flowed effortlessly. Ethan asked her about her family, her dreams, and how she ended up in marketing. Maya spoke honestly, sharing that she had taken multiple part-time jobs through college to support her mother and younger brother after her father passed away. She confessed that she often doubted herself, that sometimes she felt invisible at work. Ethan listened quietly, his usual sharp eyes softening. He admired her courage, her resilience, her refusal to give up even when life had been unfair. "You remind me of myself when I started," he admitted, "except I had no one to lean on." That confession stayed with Maya. She had always imagined Ethan's life as perfect, luxury, power, respect, but behind all that success was a man who had built walls so high that even happiness couldn't climb over them. When they landed in London, their partnership changed. Ethan began involving Maya in more meetings, valuing her input, encouraging her ideas. The rest of the team noticed too. Some whispered that she had caught the boss's eye, but Maya ignored them. She knew it wasn't favoritism, it was trust. Yet things took a turn when one of Ethan's major deals went wrong. A leaked report caused investors to panic, and the media storm was brutal. The company's reputation hung by a thread. Ethan was furious, not at others, but himself. He shut everyone out, meetings were canceled, calls went unanswered. Maya couldn't bear to see him crumble. Late one night, she found him alone in his office, staring at the city lights through the glass wall. "You can't fix everything alone," she said softly, stepping closer. "You've built something incredible, but you don't have to carry it all by yourself." Ethan turned to her, his expression unreadable. "And who says I have anyone I can trust?" She held his gaze, her voice steady. "Then start with me." That moment broke something inside him, the silence, the loneliness, the weight he'd been carrying. For the first time, Ethan let someone in. Together, they rebuilt. Maya's creative ideas brought a fresh approach that reignited investor confidence. Ethan learned to delegate, to listen, to see beyond numbers and charts, to the people who made it all possible. And slowly, through long nights and quiet conversations, they became each other's anchor. Months later, on another flight, the same route, the same quiet hum of the engines, Maya once again sat beside Ethan. But this time, things were different. She wasn't the nervous employee, and he wasn't the distant billionaire. She leaned back, her head resting gently on his shoulder. Ethan smiled. "Déjà vu?" Maya chuckled softly. Maybe this time you'll fall asleep too. He looked at her, his eyes warm. Not a chance. I wouldn't want to miss this moment. Outside, the clouds drifted beneath them, endless and soft. Two souls who had once been strangers now found peace in the simplest thing, being there for each other. The flight that began with exhaustion and silence became the journey that changed their lives forever.